The Hulk has received the extremis virus, and it is having some interesting effects. Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I take trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. Then I read it dramatically back to you. All alterations to the panels, text, and images are to prevent copyright problems, and all art is owned by its respective companies. This is the storyline that took place just before the Secret Wars, meaning that this is taking place before Totally Awesome Hulk and Amadeus Cho. But this story will lead up to the Totally Awesome Hulk storyline, so enjoy. Last time, Bruce Banner was shot and the bullets caused brain damage. In order to save his friend, Tony Stark used the extremis virus on Bruce Banner and saved him. Then, Original Sin happened, and they fought. Both videos are down below. But now the Hulk is different and on a mission. He's taken up residence in the Beehive, the former base of a world-conquering group. Inside, 4 scientists ask the Hulk where he's been because no one has seen him in weeks, and he informs them that they are never to call him the Hulk again. That was a name given to him by his captor, and he will now be going by the name Dr. Green. He informs them that this is their last chance to leave the project, and if they stay, they'll be helping turn this world into a better place, and afterwards, he'll help them with their own endeavors. The scientists with him are Damon, Randall, Patricia, and Melinda. They don't fully understand what's going on, but Doc Green cuts into his arm and starts giving them his blood and informs them they are going to cure his largest mistake. They're going to cure all of these gamma-based weapons in the world. They're going to reverse all gamma-based transformations. Melinda reluctantly asks, okay, but then asks, is Bruce Banner okay? As Banner is screaming from inside Doc Green's head, the Doc informs them that all depends on your definition of okay. It takes a few days, but they create the serum for each gamma-based superhero and villain on the planet, all except for the Hulk himself. The doctors explain that his condition isn't curable at this time, and he's aware of that. Melinda then asks how the Doc intends to find the adamantium that they're going to need for the nanites so that the serum can survive in the bloodstream of their patients. He presses a few buttons and he shows her his new teleporter, and they both step through it into another time. They go to the end of the world in Kang's trophy room. There he takes the body of Ultron and tears it apart, and using it he makes all of the nanites he needs, as Ultron is made out of adamantium. He has the cure and a way to administer it in a plan. He's going to save the world. It begins with him meeting with Rick Jones, a blue-colored gamma transformation going by the name of A-Bomb. Doc Green explains that he's here to save Rick, to cure him. But Rick uses his powers for good, and he isn't about to let the Doc cure him. So he hulks up, smashing the serum, and he throws the Doc into a nearby building. The Doc gets up. Huh, Rick, you were supposed to be the easy one. I guess it's time to smash! But this Hulk is not only smart, he is powerful, and he smashes A-Bomb back. Then, using a communicator, he tells the Beehive to send him another vial with the serum in it. A-Bomb leaps in, punching the Doc across the face, while Damon sends a rocket with another serum off. The 2 behemoths crash into a water tower, knocking it over, and then they grab the beams from the tower and they begin to hit each other with them. The Doc begins to beat on A-Bomb, and then he wraps him up with the steel beams before jumping into the air to catch a missile and take the serum out of it manually. And then the Doc lands just as A-Bomb breaks out of the beams holding him, and he charges in to hit Doc Green. The resulting hit is so powerful that it shatters the buildings nearby. But being this close, the Doc stabs A-Bomb in the chest with the serum. The nanites swarm through his blood and he begins to change back into Rick Jones. Doc then asks Rick if he can help him, and Rick shouts at him, "Get back! I don't want your help!" Doc explains that that's all the proof I needed. The gamma poisoning was fueling your anger. Then he asks for Rick's help with another person that he doesn't want to have an altercation with. Rick reluctantly agrees, but then he asks how Doc is going to keep MODOK from making more A-bombs. That one doesn't take too long, as Doc Green grabs MODOK by his big gross head and tells him to apologize for making A-bombs and promise that you'll never do it again. MODOK is now working for S.H.I.E.L.D. and explains that was the old him, but Doc tells him, hush, let's ensure that S.H.I.E.L.D. will never mess with gamma experiments again. MODOK rolls around on the ground. Yes sir, Dr. Green sir. Elsewhere, the Red Hulk sees on TV what Doc Green did and quickly decides that he won't be waiting around for the Doc to find him. The next day, Doc Green stops by the city to speak with Hulkling. Hulkling explains that he is actually a shapeshifter and he admires the Hulk. That's why he took this appearance and the name. Doc Green tells him that he knows. He only wanted to ensure that Hulkling will never mess with gamma radiation. Then he starts jumping around the world until he lands in the Savage Land. He starts to mess with a T-Rex in order to bring out the gamma-based person living here, and eventually, Skaar, the son of the Hulk, arrives. He explains that he wants Skaar to have a normal life where he can blend in with human civilization and be normal. Of course, Skaar isn't interested, and Doc opens up by dropping Skaar with a massive clap. He gets up, throwing Doc Green back, and he bounces him into a volcano. With his shirt on fire, Doc Green tears it off, and then Skaar tackles him, shoving his head into the lava itself. Doc Green doesn't fight back much, telling Skaar that this is his last chance to give in. And Skaar tells him, "Don't make me kill you!" as he shoves him into the lava further. That's when Doc Green gets up, telling him, You could never kill me. And with his hair burnt off, he headbutts Skaar and has a drone drop the serum, and he stabs Skaar in the chest with it. Then he snorts lava rocks out of his nose while Skaar is reverting back to normal. Angrily, Skaar screams, "I can't transform back! What did you do?" Doc explains, "I did something wonderful. I'm allowing you to live." Then using his teleporter, he brings him back to the city and he leaves him with a bag of money, and he tells him Skaar is from a past life, so Doc Green feels no parental responsibility to him. "Go on a walkabout, and if you're still mad at me when you are older, I'll be waiting." Then Doc Green leaves him there. He goes back to the beehive where the doctors inform him that the gamma spectrometer is complete and waiting for his inspection. Doc Green walks past them telling him that he wants to be alone, and the doctors all comment how they've all noticed Doc Green never sleeps. In his lab, he sits on his bed and he tries to relax a little, but relaxing quickly turns into sleeping, and as he sleeps, he feels the change coming. He begins to change back into Bruce Banner. This wakes him up and he halts the transformation, and he screams out, "Go away, Banner!" And he tries to make himself angry, changing himself back into Doc Green. So he decides that he needs a plan, and he records a message. Elsewhere, Rick Jones is meeting with Betty Ross to inform her that Doc Green is going to depower her, since she is the Red She-Hulk. Back in the lab, Melinda demands to know what Doc Green thinks he's doing. She knows that he did something because there is twice as much code in those nanites that he is injecting the Hulks with than is needed to depower them. So what did he do? What is he shooting them with? And Doc Green turns to her. "That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Why did you shoot Bruce Banner in the back of the head?" She is shocked. How did he figure it out? So she tells him that she was ordered to by the Order of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was recruited by someone that he knows very well. Meanwhile, back with Betty Ross and Rick Jones, he explains that what Doc Green actually did helped him. He's been sleeping fine ever since it happened. No stress, and he's been keeping his anger in check. Then she hulks out, grabbing him, telling him that she controls the rage. It doesn't control her. "Sure you do, Betty," he tells her. She reverts back down, and Doc Green comes to the door, so she answers it, re-hulks up, and slams him into the street. "I just want to talk, Betty." But she beats him down, refusing to listen, and as she beats on him over and over, she begins to change back. She changes back into simple Betty Ross. Doc Green explains that he didn't want to fight, so he had Rick Jones put the serum into her food. Then he asks her, "Creating the zombie abomination. That was the backup plan if your first plan to shoot and monitor Bruce Banner didn't work. So the doomsday device that you were following as the Order of S.H.I.E.L.D., does it still state that Bruce Banner will destroy this world?" Betty tells him no. So he holds her face in his big green hand and he tells her, "Then you succeeded. You have saved the world, Betty. You have freed me. I owe you a debt." And then he opens up his teleporter and he walks away. As he tries to leave, Betty asks him, "Where's Bruce?" And he turns to her. "Bruce is gone, Betty. But he always loved you. He would understand more than anyone that what you did was for the greater good. We won't meet again." And he walks through the teleporter as Betty cries, "What have I done?" He walks back into the lab where everyone is asking what happened to Melinda, and Doc Green screams, "Smash! I have to smash something!" The doctors all flee, and Doc Green looks around knowing that he can't destroy his tech, so he grabs a pencil and he stabs it in two. After a quick trip over to see Kitty Pryde, Doc Green decides that he's finally going to get some sleep and he enacts his containment program. He lays down on his bed and he allows himself to change back into Bruce Banner. Waking up confused as to where he is, Banner sees the crazy equations on the board and he realizes that he's been locked in this room. An AI comes on and informs him that he needs to let Doc Green out again, because he isn't going to leave this lab until he does. He walks over to the door hoping to short it out and walk out of there, but that's when something shocks him and he realizes that the person keeping him here is a fully functional AI. So he informs the AI that he isn't going to let Doc Green out. He's going to be keeping the wheel permanently, and the AI laughs. "I'm not scared of you, Banner." The AI then shows Banner Betty Ross and explains that he rigged explosives in her house and he cured her. If Banner doesn't let Doc Green out in 10 seconds, the house will blow up, killing Betty. Realizing that 10 seconds isn't enough time to come up with a plan, he shouts, "Damn you!" And he allows the anger to take over, changing him back into Doc Green. As soon as he became Doc Green, he went back to sleep, and the AI paused the explosives, ending the threat. Doc Green dreams of himself killing every superhero and being drenched in their blood. And then when he wakes up, he wonders what that dream could have meant. And then he decides that maybe he'll grow a beard, like in his dream. That brings us to the conclusion of the first part of our Doc Green storyline. We're also going to cover the annual, which explains where Melinda went, and we're also going to be covering the second part of this. So I hope you guys are excited for it, and I'll see you next time right here. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Comicstorian and Instagram at Comicstorian.